Wherever you got your information from, it's a narrative from their perspective, not necessarily reality.
So I think this is on the show with Michelle Beadle, Marcus Cousins, Chandler Parsons. They asked him about LeBron versus MJ again.
This is what I don't understand about your era, right? You guys are playing with arguably the greatest player to ever play. And excuse me when I say this, but y'all treat him like he ain't nothing. And I'm talking
Wow.
right? Y'all act like, well, y'all instead of pubbing y'all era up, y'all go back and say our era was the greatest. Oh, Michael Jordan was the greatest. Nobody could ever be greater than Michael Jordan, right? Okay. And then you turn around, but in your era, LeBron James sitting there, he holding every single basketball record. I mean, every single one of them. And you're looking at a Kevin Durant and you're looking at a Steph Curry. But then when y'all say who the greatest, y'all talk about the guy that gave you some shoes and, gave you some warm-ups.
Fair.
On this show, for the record, me, Boogie, and Lou will all agree that LeBron's the greatest.
No, I'm an MJ person, but Isiah, I'm 50 years old. Like that's what made me love basketball was Michael Jordan. I'm not just going to change my mind. He could be second.
I understand what he's saying, and most of the guys out in the media today, we grew up watching or being told MJ was the greatest. Media today, from the era of MJ, which you're talking about me, you're talking about Cousin, we're anywhere from 48 to 35. So MJ was, our GOAT. Now, the problem with the MJ LeBron issue is this. The media who watched MJ, who covered MJ, are still today as prominent voices. And they are prominent voices that pushes their love for MJ. In the 80s, in the 90s, we only were told all the positives of everyone's basketball game. Within the last 2 years, we're finding out Magic Johnson lost these many championships. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost this many times in a championship. We never knew those records because we weren't told those, right? It was only positivity over our superstars then. Around 1998, it's been a negative push against the stars, right? Anybody who has that next MJ title, you point out the negatives in their game on why they can't be MJ. So when it comes to talking about greatness, you have a guy who resume as pushed as excellence. Because it's 6 final appearances, 6 championships. So he's 6-0 in the finals, right? All the times he didn't make it to the finals, got put out in the first round, they don't exist. They don't count against his legacy. Because when he got to the big dance, what did he do, right? That's all that matters. If he got to the big dance starting at 28 years old, anybody who gets to the big dance before 28 and you fail because you're not ready yet, that is a knock against your career, right? So the Tatums, the LeBrons, the Lukas, they got to the championship at 22, 23. They lost early. That's a knock against you. You can never be MJ because when MJ got there, he never lost. So there's a lot of things that goes against the younger players. But like Isiah Thomas said, you don't do a good job pumping up your GOAT. You're too busy looking in the past. But I'm sorry. The past can't be as great as you will want it to be, because when you take the top 5 on each position, do the guys of those eras still have those spots, right? If I say top 5 point guards, how many people from history are still in those thrones, right? If you have Magic at 1, who's number 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? All the way to 10. In shooting guard, MJ. Where's 2, 3, 4, and 5? What eras are they coming from? Right? If MJ is the only person left at shooting guard from his era, his 2 eras, it lets you know the competition of those eras. Same thing with 3, same thing with 4, same thing with 5. Yes, the golden era will be, and I'm sorry to bust your bubble, the first time you fell in love with the sport. That is the golden era, when you fell in love. So when people say the 80s is the golden era, it's because that's when they got to watch it live on television, right? If you ask people who went to games, they're gonna say Dr. J's era, because Dr. J was a aura of himself, going in there, doing the things he's packing them gyms. People had to wear suits to go watch him, right? Like when he came in the gym, it was like church. You had to be suited and booted to watch Dr. J, right? Live in person. When it came on TV in the 80s and they got to see it for the first time, that was their first introduction to basketball on that type of scale, and that's when they fell in love with it. That is the golden era. The golden era for me was the summer of '92. It was the Olympics. They were pushing the Olympics. Magic Johnson just came back, Bird, Michael Jordan. They started pushing that gear. I had damn near every USA jersey, plus the women's jersey. Like the USA basketball is when I fell in love with basketball. I watched basketball, but I fell in love with it from USA basketball, and then my first favorite player was Penny Hardaway. So you can't tell me nothing bad about Penny Hardaway, because there was nothing bad about Penny Hardaway being pushed to me. So what Isiah Thomas is saying in a nutshell is you have LeBron James in your era, who's done played through 2 decades of basketball, halfway through a 3rd era of basketball, and you're treating him like he ain't shit. It's truth. You talk to him like he's not been here doing this for a long time. All the records he's broke, you use it as he's just padding his stats. I don't give a fuck what you call it. Someone's trying to stop him from doing it. You have Kevin Durant. You have Jokic. You have Steph Curry. This is who we have. Our era, when we played, we have Allen Iverson, right? We have Kobe Bryant. The people who love Kobe Bryant to the teeth, they played with him. They played against him. All those people, they have him number 2 all time, 2 or 3. Some even have him 1 over MJ. That was the era they grew up on. So the LeBron era, through the decades, you guys have the loudest voice now. He will be the king if y'all say he's the king. You watched him. I don't know how you fucking 23, 25 years old talking about MJ. You didn't see him. You didn't watch him. And if you did see him, you didn't know what you was looking at. I'm 44. I just told you, 92 is when I fell in love with it. Meaning I was a teen, just a teen, 10. Do you think I know what I was watching? If you think you at 10, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, if you think you know what a GOAT is, ask a 13-year-old right now who their GOAT is. I guarantee you they about to say some stupid shit that you're going to say is stupid. And you can't tell them they're wrong. That was us too. Penny Hardaway was my GOAT until I seen Kobe Bryant dunk and win the dunk contest, February 7th. GOAT. Flex. That's my GOAT. He was number 2 all time. Nigga ain't played no games yet. He scored less than 200 points for his career. He's the 2nd best player all time. We go off of how somebody makes us feel when we're younger. Right now, if you ask a young kid who they GOAT is, 34, it's going to be Ja, Steph. It's not going to be no MJ, LeBron, of any of that stuff, right? Our criteria is jaded by our feeling, right? We're going to use the stats that we use. And it's unfair because when you're looking at LeBron James, you're looking at him for his flaws, not his greatness. And that's the bad part about the GOAT debate, because you only want to point out the flaws. And I always say, if you're going to have that GOAT debate, have it like this. Jordan fans, you talk about Jordan. LeBron fans, you talk about LeBron. I don't need a Jordan fan pointing out what LeBron can't do or what he didn't do. That's irrelevant. You have no voice on this topic. You talk about your guy, he talks about his guy. It's just like a fucking job interview, right? When you go into the job interview, you talk about yourself. You don't go out there and say, hey, man, the man out there, the person who's coming next, and you start talk about what makes you great. That's how you're supposed to be talking about these debates. I don't want to hear you talk about my player. I got him. So I agree with Isiah Thomas.
It's funny that you said, you know, the younger generation is going to pick certain players from their era, because there's also another type of younger person. Isiah Thomas talks about this in the extended clip. He says, there's going to be people who say people from the 80s and don't know why.
15 years from now, when the next generation come along and they talk about how great LeBron James was and how great Kevin Durant was and Steph Curry was, it won't even be a conversation or a debate. Your generation right now is the only, y'all say we hating on y'all hating on yourself. every time we ask you who your top 10 is, you list 10 guys from the 80s.
This is
You
fair.
don't list none of your guys.
In our defense, not on this show. I think me and Lou will, for sure, we get shit on for repping our generation more so than that
I'm just
generation.
saying, I'm not going to put all y'all in that generation
Yeah.
in the top 10, but damn, you know, it's a couple of y'all in the top 10.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree.
Because the mainstream media, it's the information that's being presented to you. It's mainstream media who they watched when they were younger, who they covered when they were 20 years old, 25 years old, and that's what basketball was to them. So when you're talking about the 80s basketball, right? You remember there was 90s, there was 2000s. When you talk about 80s, this is the first time I get to watch it on TV. So when I'm watching it on TV, I'm listening to the announcers tell me what I'm watching. Oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh my God, this is the greatest, the player that ever lived. There's nothing like it. Those. I wanna be like Mike. Like, people think the Michael Jordan commercial in the Gatorade push is what sold MJ shoes. MJ shoes in 84, 85. Those are the pinnacles of what started MJ. The Jordan 1s, way before he won any accolade. The Jordan 1s. The D-boys love the Jordan 1s. Right? So when you're talking about the history of the game, who is telling the story? The people who started the history of the 80s. They're still here today. So when they say, here's my top 10, and they give you the top 10. Oh, I got, this and Oscar Robertson and this. Hey, God bless them. Cool. And I always say this, my top 10 starts when I watch the game. So my top 10 has Magic, because I'm LA fan since, right? I'm at Magic, I'm in 92, right? I had to watch the Jordan, you got LeBron, you got Kobe, you got Shaq, you got Duncan, AI, Curry. It's when I put my eyes on the game and I watched it with my own eyes. All y'all are doing are looking at stats, and the stats is telling you this guy's better. Oh, look at Allen Iverson's numbers. He shot this. The nigga was getting quadruple teamed. We don't know. You can't name right now his consistent starting 4 players on his team. I can tell you don't, because I played against him and we didn't know. We didn't have no scouting report on the other 4 players. Focal point, number 1, Allen Iverson on the catch. 2, Allen Iverson on the move. 3, Allen Iverson once he gets the ball and put the ball on the floor. We're going to double, we're going to trap, we're going to meet him at the rim. Hey, listen, the fact that he actually scored 32 a game should be put in the top of the top, because all 5 players had to guard him every time he touched the ball, and he still averaged 32. We had a zone to prevent him from coming in the lane, and he still came in the lane. So my top 10 starts when I watched it and understood it. So the fact that some of you guys list, you come up with it and you just look at his, oh, Will, look, this is what he did. Cool. You got any film? Are you watching the game? Right? Huh? You do the mic and drill. You don't know why the mic and drill is the mic and drill. Because I can tell you right now, let's just talk about it here. And this is no knock on it. But I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure the mic and drill was more of, hey, big fella, you can't make a layup. You might want to practice it. It wasn't because he was dominant at what he was doing. Let me give you his nicknames. His nickname is Mr. Basketball, Mike the Magnificent, the Monster, Big Mike. Now, I'm pretty sure 6'10", 245 is very, very dominant in the 1948. And the fact that you shot 40% for your career lets me know you couldn't hit shit. Let's just be honest with it. You shot 40% being the biggest person on the court. The mic and drill is, hey, you sorry ass, get your ass down there and practice layups. And he's sitting there every morning trying to work on this layup package because he didn't have it. I don't want to hear about, I'm like Thomas, I don't want to hear about your list and you 19 and you got Bill Russell in your shit. You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you don't know them, okay? You ain't seen one sky hook in your life, all right? Stop it. Move on. I can tell you right now, and it's weird, I don't know anything that was created in the 80s that's still popping today besides Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Everything else is, we done moved the on. We done found better, right? I mean, we can say Tetris, but the Tetris we got today don't look like the same Tetris that was created back then, okay? Your Xbox don't work no more, right? Them big ass phones, them dope dealers, no more, right? Whatever 1980 Ferrari you have, God damn it, it don't work no more. I'm pretty sure 80 miles per hour was fast as shit back then. It was, woo, that Ferrari is, that's a Honda today, fam. Move on. We have the best athletes. We have the best today. I mean, Dominique Wilkins' athleticism was ridiculous that he was doing. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the moves Michael Jordan was doing in his aerial movement, I'm not gonna lie. It's impressive. It's impressive. But again, support your era.
Let me ask you this last question. So I think it does, but I want to know if you do. Do you think that it hurts how like a younger viewer watches the game because they've been hearing, I don't know, this commentary or this analyzer continuously push like, oh, nah, Pete Maravich, Jerry West. So now they go into the game like looking at it with the lens of like, oh, nah, Pete Maravich is top 10. This guy can't be top 10. He's not what I've been told.
Yeah, like that's what I said. Most of our basketball information was given to us by non-basketball people. It's like storytellers. Remember, media is storytelling. If you're listening to it on the radio, right? The person that you're listening to is a storyteller. What he's watching, he's giving it to you so you can be entertained. When we're talking about the sport, from a writer, from an ESPN, from whatever you got your information from, it's a narrative from their perspective, not necessarily reality. Reality is this. I can't tell you, I can watch a play because I played the game. I can see a coverage. Okay, all right, oh, you should have dropped right there. That should have been a double. But again, this is what I would do and what I was taught. Watching it, I can't tell you who messed up on this play unless I know the game plan or the scouting report. So when you're talking about why is this guy taking this shot, he should get his team involved. and you're pushing that narrative. He's a ball hog. There's a thing called practice where shots are established. There's this thing called off the court, meaning we came to Miami, my teammates decided to go out, party till fucking 6 a.m. in the morning. We got a game, and I took 40 shots. There's a reason they didn't have it today. They ain't taking it serious today. They wanted to party over play. There's a reason the game is played the way the game is played. And if you're not in the loop, meaning I don't want to hear you have sources, with your own eyes, are you listening to the coverage? Okay, they're going to drop, they're going to double, they're going to do this. They're going to let this guy score the ball. We don't want Steph Curry to shoot. We're going to allow Draymond Green to beat us. We don't believe Draymond Green is going to be able to score 34 points and beat us in a playoff game. So we're going to sag off of him and let him try it. When he does that and they win the game, when you say, hey, why didn't you cover Draymond Green? That was bad cover. That was our game plan. So when media is sitting at home, going through different games, and all they're doing is just looking at the stat sheet, giving their opinion on what happened, it's unfair. And I think that's why there's this media versus ex-NBA players kind of like clash, because we're giving the insight, but the problem is the mass majority of listeners are so used to listening to clickbaiting debates that they don't want to hear breakdown type of stuff of learning, because old media couldn't do that. They couldn't tell you the ins and the outs of the game. All they can say is, who's better, Jordan or LeBron? Jordan or Kobe or LeBron. If Shaq played in this era, how would he play? That's it. So they just give you the scenario, they debate, and then let you guys run with it. So some of the information that you were taught is kind of like you're looking at it from a wrong lens.